Families lined up early to get their chance to get their hands on free new shoes before the kids head back to school. 11Alive's Ariana Manisha is joining us from Soul Play, there in Decatur, for us where it is all happening. Ariana, shoes are expensive, so we see why people brave the heat to get that free pair.
Yes, and they woke up pretty early. Back to school season just got a lot easier for a lot of these families that lined up, some as early as 9:30 p.m. Last night, some families got here at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. That's around the time we're waking up to come into work, and these families were already lined up here at Soul Play. Now, this is all being put on by the Wither Law Firm and also 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK to give out $100 gift cards for the first 200 families to line up. We have a family right here. What time did you guys get up this morning to be here?
4:30.
That's what time I'm coming into work. When you guys heard about this event, what was your first reaction? What were you thinking about the fact that you'll get a $100 gift card for both of your daughters to go back to school?
It's a good deal, and it helps out during the time of need.
And shoes are so expensive now. When we were going back to school, they weren't as expensive. The school supply list is so long now, and thinking about buying shoes, what are you shopping for today?
Shoes.
What color?
Purple.
Purple. What color do you want?
Blue.
Blue, okay. And it's Mom's birthday too. So it's like you're getting a little relief for a birthday present.
Yes, I am, and I'm so thankful for it.
What about you, Dad? Are you excited?
Yes, God is good.
What was your reaction when your wife said, we got to wake up early?
I'm already up.
All right. You just see the excitement and the need, how important it is to get these kids a fresh pair of shoes when they start back to school. We know it's so important. You look good, you feel good, and you want to start off the school year with not only a fresh pack of pencils, but also a fresh pair of shoes. We're seeing families already walking out the store this morning with their shoes. We got kids walking out with Converse, Asics. I'm trying to see what's the hottest shoes this school year. So we're going to be out here all morning, Aisha, to be with these families as they line up here at Soul Play.
Fulton County Public Works is now proposing water and sewer rate increases over the next 2 years. A 5% hike is planned to fund important upgrades, including the Camp Creek Water Reclamation Facility. Hearings will start today in Alpharetta from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. You can submit your comments by mail or email within 15 days.
In Clayton County, a gymnastics team is outgrowing its gym at James Jones Gymnastics Academy. Some athletes are now hitting the ceiling during practice. Coach James Jones says his team is the only all-black competitive boys gymnastics team in the country and is at risk of losing their space. He's been searching for a new location for more than a year now, really focusing on warehouses with high ceilings, but Clayton County zoning laws, they've blocked multiple applications. Jones says commercial spaces are just too expensive, especially since he charges families based on income, with some kids training for free. As his lease ends this Friday, he's hopeful local leaders will help find a solution.
It's just unfortunate, that the county is saying that most of those warehouses are not zoned for gymnastics.
Jones has launched a fundraiser to support the search. Clayton County officials say they're committed to working with him with the zoning guidelines.
Some surprising findings in a new report on that escalator that malfunctioned at the Vine City MARTA station 2 weeks ago. That report from the Office of the Insurance and Safety Commissioner says that some parts of the escalator may have been missing at the time of that incident. At least 9 people were hurt when MARTA says a panicked crowd rushed onto the escalator following Beyonce's final Cowboy Carter show here in Atlanta. Now, the video shows the escalator moving fast, dumping people below onto the train platform. The report also noted that during the state investigation, 3 drive belts were missing from the top motor and 1 was missing from the bottom. The report also says it's not clear if the belt was missing at the time of the incident or if it came off the pulley because of that stampede. Now, the findings say that the escalator is still shut down, waiting to be repaired. A follow-up inspection will be conducted before it is back in service.
Gwinnett County leaders are once again calling for Sheriff Kibo Taylor to specifically outline his department's role in ICE detentions. Representatives from several community organizations came together on Monday demanding Sheriff Taylor explain the protocols and procedures used to enforce HB 1105 in Gwinnett County. That is a state law that requires local law enforcement to work with immigration officials. The organizations say they had a closed-door meeting with Sheriff Taylor about ICE detentions, but still want more transparency. We reached out to the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Department about the meeting and have not yet gotten a response. Gwinnett County gained a lot of immigration attention recently after the arrest of journalist Mario Guevara at an ICE protest last month in DeKalb County. Gwinnett's charges were unrelated to the protest and were eventually dropped. However, Guevara is still in ICE custody, facing deportation proceedings. Guevara is not a U.S. citizen, but is working in the country legally. About a shooting at a high-rise office building in Manhattan. 4 people were killed, including an off-duty police officer, when a man carrying a rifle opened fire. The officer was identified as Didirul Islam. Islam was 36 years old and had been with the NYPD for 3.5 years. Islam was married with 2 young boys, and his wife is pregnant with a 3rd child. Police say on Monday evening, 27-year-old Shane Devon Tamara of Las Vegas walked into the office building and opened fire in the lobby. He then took an elevator to the 33rd floor where he shot another person, and then we're told he turned the gun on himself. While the motive is still being investigated, sources tell CNN that the gunman had a note suggesting that he was angry with the NFL, which has offices in that building. It also suggested he suffered from CTE, an Alzheimer's-like disease linked to football players, and asked that his brain be studied. A railroad giant, Union Pacific, says it's reached a deal to buy Norfolk Southern for $85 billion. The merger will create the first coast-to-coast rail network by combining Union Pacific's rail network in the west with Norfolk Southern's network in the east. The companies say the merger will make cross-country deliveries easier. The deal still needs to be approved by federal regulators.
Temperatures well into the 90s as we head into the afternoon, but when you factor in the humidity with this, which you see, it's going to feel like the triple digits out there in a lot of spots. In fact, we have a heat advisory that's going to last until 8 o'clock tonight. You see all the highlighted counties in orange, from Georgia's Rome over to Athens down through Atlanta and Noonan is where we have we could see a heat index get up to about 105 today. Just to the south and east, where you see this pink area here, over toward Edenton, for example, you'll see a heat index of about 108 today. So very hot, extremely hot. Days you want to take a break, folks, from being outside as much as you can. Protect the kids as well and your neighbors. Check on them. Make sure they got some AC up in there. You're looking at throughout the southeast and the Mississippi Valley areas, and also up in the northeast, Boston, New York, almost down into Washington, D.C. is where we have some advisories as well. So we're not the only ones on the hot side, folks. A lot of our neighbors are as well. We will see those showers popping up after about 1 o'clock this afternoon. We have a northerly flow. Those winds on the light side, at least this morning, out of the north at about 3 miles per hour. The Storm Prediction Center has placed this light green shade over much of the southeast, in fact, all of our state, down through Florida, because of a general threat for thunderstorms. We're not looking at much in the way of severe, but a general threat for thunderstorms. 30% chance this afternoon. Once we get to the evening, that may go up a little bit. And I think these percentages will fluctuate. Got a 40% chance from Wednesday all the way through the beginning of the weekend. And I think these, again, will fluctuate. Some will go down, some will go up. So we'll be watching that. But either way, it indicates that we have the threat for afternoon scattered or isolated thunderstorms around the forecast area through the weekend. You're looking at our forecast track model. You can follow along with me with the time right there at the top of the screen. It shows, again, that northerly flow on the light side. We'll see dry conditions at least till about 1 o'clock this afternoon. That's when more of those clouds will bubble up and then more of those showers will be around. You can see not as widespread, so only a 30% chance it's overnight tonight that begins to increase. See some widespread showers coming our way through the overnight. Then it gets out of the way by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning. We'll have the partly sunny skies in place. We'll hold on to that for much of the early afternoon, late. It's by 4:30. You'll notice more of those scattered showers, thunderstorms popping up in our forecast area. Not only for your Wednesday, but we're going to do it on Thursday as well. May start you off in the morning with a stray shower, and then by the time we get to the afternoon, scattered showers, thunderstorms begin to break out once again. So that's going to provide us with a little bit less of those 90s, if you will. We go back into the low 90s from Wednesday through Friday, and then down into the 80s as we head into the upcoming weekend. Got a front that's going to push into the area, drop that temperature down to 81 degrees by Sunday. Keep in mind, we should be around 90 for this time of year.
The wait is over. From hip-hop icons to R&B powerhouses, One Music Fest just unveiled its biggest lineup yet. The festival returns this year to Piedmont Park with a lineup that celebrates Atlanta at every turn.
It's two-day festival. It is happening October 25th and 26th. Future, Mary J. Blige, The Roots, Ludacris are headlining. There will also be a performance to honor the legacy of Atlanta music legend Rico Wade with a Dungeon Family reunion featuring Big Boy and other artists who helped shape Southern hip-hop.
We're talking Doechii, Ari Lennox, Busta Rhymes, Jasmine Sullivan, and Kehlani rounding out the stacked roster. Founder Jay Carter says the festival's growth reflects the impact of Black artists and the city that supports them. Last year's event drew in more than 100,000 people in the crowd, and even more expected this time around. Falcons legend and Colorado head coach Deion Sanders gave an update on his health after spending some time away from his team. Sanders revealed he was treated for a bladder tumor that has been removed and he is now cancer-free. There are some physical adjustments, but he will be back on the sidelines.
I always knew I was going to coach again. I didn't realize I was going to coach again. I was always going to coach. It was never in my spirit, in my heart, that God wouldn't allow me to coach again. That's never thought like that. You know, it's just that I didn't want to be running down to the hospital once a week when I got all this on my plate.
In classic Prime style, the coach joked about wearing a diaper like his baby grandson. Sanders is the only athlete to play for both the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Braves.
Wishing him the best.